Fanatics, are you ready for this week's trivia? Let's get started. According to Forbes in 2007, how much is Princess Peach's net worth? A. 9.7 million. B. 1.3 million. C. 100 gazillion. Or D. 6.57 million. Come back later in the episode to find out. Let's go to it. 1, 2, 3.
Hey there, fanatics! Welcome back to the So I'm a Fan of podcast, where people from different fandoms come together to share why they love what they love,
And sometimes hate what they hate.
I'm your host, Kaiser Brown, and of course, I'm joined by...
The greatest co-host, Sabrina Gill.
So, Sabrina, what are we going to be talking about today?
So I'm a fan of Princess Peach.
Let's get started. Welcome, everybody, to this episode of So I'm a Fan of. Today, we're going to be talking about the history of everyone's favorite blonde, pink dress-wearing princess, Princess Peach. Today, this episode is being taught by everyone's favorite host, Sabrina Gill. Sabrina, are you excited?
As excited as I'll ever be, I'm actually really nervous because obviously it takes a lot to teach. And I won't say I'm like the biggest Mario fan, to be honest. But I will say I definitely always liked the series, especially Peach and Bowser specifically. And just I used to play a lot of Super Smash with my brothers. And so I've had that kind of experience. And also one of my first games ever when I had my little Nintendo DS was actually Super Princess Peach. And so I loved that game. And so in my mind, Mario could go take a hike. But Princess Peach was like, she was such a baddie. I loved her. She gets such a bad rep. Such a bad rep.
I love Princess Peach. Don't worry. Because when we talking about Smash Brothers, the character I always played was Princess Peach. My first Smash Brothers game was not an actual official Smash Brothers game.
No, so I'll be honest. I was obsessed with the Zelda Sheik combo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I did them and I did Marth and Lucario. Those were my three. Mm-hmm. I had like arrows.
My favorites were Peach, Samus, and I like the Pokemon trainer. And Princess Peach, I was obsessed with playing her on Super Smash Flash 2 because I didn't have a Smash Brothers game at that point. But then eventually I got Smash Brothers for 3DS, and so I played her a lot in that on a lot of online battles against people. I used to love hitting people with my hips, with Princess Peach's hips, I should say. Yeah. And with the parasol.
I was gonna say.
And yeah. But my actual first official Super Smash Brothers game, and that's not Super Smash Flash, wasn't even the 3DS one. It was the original one on Nintendo 64 that my cousin owned. Love that game. It was so fun.
That was actually
I love on there.
The Nintendo 64, Mario 64, Super Mario 64 was my favorite, and then it was the Super Princess Peach. Those were like my games, but that's just because I liked. I don't want to get too much into it now because this will be part of the talk later. But I really loved that game, and that's part of why I like the new game is because some similarities that I believe like share elementally, like as parts of like characteristic of both games.
All right. So are you ready to get us started with this Princess Peach history lesson?
Welcome to your History of Princess Peach lesson. PowerPoint made by me, art made by the amazing people on Google, and artists throughout the world. I was just, desperate, and so I just borrowed assets.
She made a PowerPoint, y'all.
Yeah, the power of the internet, for real, though. Okay, are you ready, Kaiser? Who is she? Princess Peach is the main princess character within the Nintendo Mario franchise. She is typically the damsel in distress, who ends up being kidnapped by the main series villain Bowser. From here, the game's purposes are usually to rescue her and her kingdom, which are under siege. As far as appearances go, Peach is commonly known for her signature pink dress, blonde hair, and whatnot with her blue jewelry. However, this was not always the case. Actually, the real OG is Princess Toadstool. Princess Toadstool debuted in 1985 in the original Super Mario Bros. From the NES. In this story, she resides over the Mushroom Kingdom and its citizens, the Toads. She did have a dad at this point in time, but he's not actually ever really mentioned in the official like comic or the game series. It was only in the manual that he actually like truly appeared. I have in here that he whatnot might have popped up in the background of some of the comics, But, in my little research of the actual comic series later on when I go into different forms of media that she's present within, I didn't really see anything of him in it, though it was implied that, like, she had a dad and a mom, and I think she even had if I remember correctly in the comics, she had, like, a prince she was in love with. But yes, Bowser in this original game, all at the time known as King Koopa, kidnaps Peach and hides her in one of the castle's 8 dungeons. Hence, the game's plot is for Mario and Luigi to rescue her. We see a similar plot occurrence in the games that follow. However, in 1988, Peach was actually upgraded to be a playable character for the first time. And in the game Super Mario Bros. 2, she outwitted her enemies with her unique ability to float over obstacles. But actually, it was stolen from another game, Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic. They basically just dropped Mario sprites over that original game, which obviously sus Nintendo. When this isn't the first time a giant company has stolen assets from a smaller company. Or I don't even know if it's a smaller company. Maybe it is owned by Nintendo too. Maybe they stole their own work.
Maybe.
Who knows? Now we go into what I like to call Peach's Damsel era, aka a long series of games where my girl literally does nothing but get abducted, kidnapped, or her home is under siege. I say this dramatically because obviously it's not like she got a choice. This was just her character. That was like her route path that was chosen for her. Now we reach what I like to call Peach's Damsel era. And this is basically where she spends year after year just getting kidnapped, her kingdom like plundered, destroyed, decimated, only to be saved by a plumber with a mustache and his brother, also another plumber with a mustache. I've loved this picture that I found on Google. Amen to whatever artist made it. Thank you so much for such a dramatic pose. I also thought it was funny just because I know a lot of people ship them together because, you know, Bowser's bad boy or whatever. Anyway, Damsel era is like the longest bit of like history I have. At least it's like the heaviest in my opinion. So the Damsel era explained, it doesn't have a picture because it was just so much text. But upon arrival of Super Mario 3, we see Peach returning to her damsel antics of just getting kidnapped. Whereas previously we saw her kind of start to spark what was like being a playable character, being a little wittier, having a different game. So this is the list of the Damsel era. We start out with Super Mario World, which was 1990 to NES, where again Mario navigates several places to save Dinosaur Land from the Koopalings before rescuing Princess Peach from Bowser. And then again, Super Mario 64, like we mentioned earlier, it's actually one of my favorite Mario games from 1996 for the Nintendo 64. He kind of receives a letter from Peach to come over, and of course, upon arriving, everything kind of goes to schmush. Her getting kidnapped and him having to go through various paintings throughout the home that lead him to different worlds. And by collecting stars, he kind of unlocks the castle, bringing him to that final fight to save Peach. And she like emerges from this beautiful stained glass window, which that was like
iconic.
It is like my favorite game. I don't know why. I don't know what about it. It was just so moving. Maybe it was like the inner painter in me that hadn't like arisen yet. But this was like my favorite game. But it was also probably because I liked harassing the penguins in the ice world. I don't know why. Like the mama penguin, I was just always like, your kids are mine. Like I'm keeping them. Like you don't get them back.
I've only played Super Mario 64 on the DS. I never played the original one. I only played the remake. But I always found it iconic that she's like, Mario, come over here and bake a cake. I mean, I'm baking the cake. Come over here, right? And then like she gets captured and then she just comes out the glass. And then she's like, she just kisses him on the nose. She's just iconic in that game. I don't care if she's only in there for like 2 minutes.
Well, she's like that in a lot of the games she's in. Like she's very much like the what do they call that? The instigator. Like she's like the spark that starts like the fire that is this journey. And obviously she's the final point too. She's like the last little pizzazz at the end. So that game was just like a really pivotal point. I played the original and I played the remake, though I like was more sentient of the remake, obviously, because I was older when I played it. It was great. Moving on, I guess, down to the next system, we see like the GameCube in 2002, where we get Super Mario Sunshine, where obviously Mario, Peach, and Toads are off on holiday in Isle Delfino. And then upon their arrival, of course, it's being polluted by a Shadow Mario. which is like it's like his doppelganger, but it's actually just Bowser Jr. and like he's like, "Oh, you're my mom," and she's like, "No, no, 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 no," and it ends up being like it's proven she's not his mom. Justice for my girl. She would not have a child and not know. I promise. Like how would she not know if that was her child?
Right. Did Bowser tell him that
No,
was his
no.
child? I mean,
Bowser
that he was
Jr.
his.
Like says that you're my mom,
Okay.
and like accuses her of being his mom. Like he's like, "You're my mom. Like, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't think so." And like I think later on in the game, it's like Bowser goes up and like obviously fusses at his son, and it's like, "That's not your mom." And it's like, "Well, makes sense, dude. You're a Koopa." No, I don't know how that works. Like human to Koopa ratio.
Wait, who is the mother though? That's
Well,
what I
I
need to
don't know,
know.
okay, that's some MTV. Well, no, that wasn't on that's not in my
Can
PowerPoint.
male Koopas lay eggs
Well,
on the
actually, that's, like, a real question. Okay, that's a conversation
and
for after the stream ends, after I've had enough, like, time to cook. Okay, let me cook
Okay,
on that one. We'll come back later, it'll be the bloopers, us talking about
okay.
about it.
I'm gonna be quiet.
Well, you don't have to be quiet, I enjoy your conversation. Then we get to the new Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo DS. Peach is again kidnapped by Bowser Jr., and Mario travels to 8 worlds to, fight him and save her. Which is crazy because it's like a pattern, like, you always have to go through 8 worlds, 7 or 8, like, he's always going through something, dog. Then we see Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii, where she actually, again, like I said, she's like the catalyst to events to come, asking Mario to come to her castle, where of course she gets kidnapped again before she can give him whatever she's promised to give him. Again, new Super Mario, Peach is not included as a playable character because her skirt required special programming. AKA she's kidnapped again by his
Yeah,
minions and Bowser,
right.
and Mario and Luigi have to rescue her. We see in Super Mario Galaxy 2, again on the Wii, it's a 3D platformer, again, kidnap, Mario travels to save her. And then so on and so forth. We kind of just see like a repeated issue of her getting kidnapped, basically. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
what's she doing? Living her life, kidnapped. Again, kidnapped. Kingdom attacked, kidnapped.
I have a theory about why Princess Peach gets kidnapped a lot, but we'll
Okay.
get to that later.
Oh,
I think
really?
I
I'm
know
kind of
why.
intrigued. I'm intrigued by this theory. But anyway,
Yeah.
we kind of
Mhm.
see her slowly, like, eventually become what is her playable character, in the Mario series. Although not initially planned to appear, in the 2013 Wii U video game Super Mario 3D World, Peach was suggested by producer Yoshiaki Koizumi. The game was first in the mainline series since Super Mario Bros. 2 to feature her as a playable character. Koizumi thought she could offer a more competitive choice in multiplayer mode. He also hoped that the players would be able to play alongside with their girlfriends/wives for like Luigi and Mario. Peach has the ability.
If you don't know, I'm the girlfriend/wife because I always pick Princess Peach
um,
to play.
oh my
So
gosh, Kaiser, dang, girlfriend/wife material.
wow.
Anyway, in this game, Peach has the ability to use her gown to float while jumping, allowing her to avoid gaps and other obstacles. She can use power ups that provide various effects and boosts, such as a cat suit, which give her the ability to crawl and climb walls like a cat. And then when Peach gets the Fire Flower power up, she transforms into Fire Peach. Her dress changes to pink, from pink to red and white, and she can throw fireballs. Like, what? My girl can handle fire? It's amazing. Immaculate.
I'm obsessed with Princess Peach in a ponytail. So every time she is in a ponytail, I get excited. Her when she puts on the fire power up. Her when she's in a lot of the spin-off games, she usually has a
Mhm.
ponytail. I'm always a sucker for her in that ponytail. I don't know why. It's just something about that. It makes her seem fierce. I don't
Yeah, it's like
know.
it because so, like, when a like, you could say, like, when a girl pulls back her hair, she's like, "I'm getting down to business." Like, we're going in. Like,
Mhm.
something's about to happen.
Oh, let's not talk about the Strikers games. The character development. The character development of Strikers games from the oldest one to the newest one. When she like whenever she's like upset, she would get like really, really angry and just like start like oh, you know what I mean? And then all the way to the newest one where she started like, I don't know if she got therapy, but she started to learn how to calm herself down.
She really did. She really did.
It's
She was
hilarious.
like, so she went from being like a
It's
very
hilarious.
spoiled
I
character
love the
to
development.
being like a little more like realistic,
Mhm.
I guess, in my opinion.
Mhm. Mhm.
But yes.
It's development. I love when she gets
I
angry now.
agree. I
It's
agree.
great.
We'll get to that because when I talk about Super Princess Peach, definitely. So
Mhm.
next, playable character wise, we see her in the mobile game Super Mario Run from 2016. Peach is one of several playable characters that is unlocked following the completion of the World Tour mode. The story of the World Tour mode involves Peach being kidnapped again by Bowser, and after she is unlocked, Peach can use her floaty jumpy ability during gameplay. She can do anything.
Mhm.
And then next, we see her in the Super Mario series for Super Mario Odyssey on the Nintendo Switch in 2017. So I called this the playable character intermission because although she's like involved, I didn't feel like in this game like she played as big of a role as I wanted her to play. Because again, she's abducted by Bowser, who wants to marry her. She's confined in his flying boat for the majority of the game, while Mario must travel the world to rescue her. And of course, at the end of the game, Bowser and Mario compete for her affection, but she like rejects them both, opting to travel the world on her own, which I found to be amazing. Honestly, I was like, yes, yes,
Me too.
independent woman. We don't need nobody, no Koopa, no man, no nothing. Only the toads to carry our bags. You know. In addition, she also has a wedding dress, and she wears a variety of outfits on her travels, including a bikini, overalls, and a
Mhm.
kimono. And I just love this little T pose. Like, like I guess it's meant to be like, oh, various character models, but I just thought it was funny because there was the whole meme of like the T pose, and it's like all the peaches T pose together in
Mhm.
harmony. Nobody bother us.
Yes. Before we got Princess Peach Showtime, the game that I wanted from Princess Peach was like a Super Mario Odyssey 2, but it's Princess Peach
Mm,
Odyssey. And we just go around with Princess Peach and all the different outfits, just going around and exploring the different worlds and like the 3D Mario world. I'm glad with what we got, but this is the game that I just was praying for. Princess
we
Peach
might still
Odyssey.
get it. Like I said, I feel
'Cause I
like
was
she's
like, "Man."
definitely like rising as a more like empowering character. Cause like we kind of see it in the beginning, like she doesn't
Mhm.
have as much presence, but as like we've reached up to this point, in, like say
Mhm.
2017, just on the timeline wise, we kind of see like her like now she's like an established personality, and she's kind of like growing from that initial
Well,
personality.
I believe in the mainline game, she wasn't really able to do
Yep.
much, but when you look at all the spinoffs and stuff, she already had an established personality. They just brought that into the mainline games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they didn't show it as much. So, like, I think she always had an established personality. They just never, uh you see more of Princess Peach. Like, I wish she was playable in more of the mainline games, but you do see more of her, playable, in the spinoff games than you do in the mainline games. There are more spin-off games than there are mainlines by this point. And I believe she is the most playable female character in all of video game history, if I'm not mistaken. So, it just took a while for them to go into the mainline games, and we were just sitting here waiting, like, where's our Princess Peach game exclusively? You know what I mean? We love Mario Kart, we love Mario Party, but like, when do we get to control her in a fully realized
Yeah.
3D game that isn't just like some, Mario is here, Mario and friends basically. Where's our Prince game? Where's our Peach game? Where's our Luigi's
Mm,
Mansion and Wario, what's the Wario games
Um,
called?
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what his game's
I
called.
forget. It's so fun. Yeah, those Wario games or the Toad trackers or whatever. Where's the Peach one? If you ask me, she should have been one of the first to get a spinoff game, but
Mhm.
it's what it
No,
is.
I agree, I agree. I feel like she has, like, so much potential, like, so much, and I don't wanna say too much on that now because you brought up, like, a independent Peach game. I have something to say, like, it's a little more related to, Princess Peach Showtime. Um, I'll leave it for now because 'cause
Mhm.
that'll be a part of my final thoughts on the game on the second episode we do for Princess Peach. But anyway, I guess continuing our Super Mario series journey, we see a Super Mario series, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which came out in 2023. I want to say outside of Princess Peach Showtime, this is the most present up to date game. Before that, where Princess Peach is one of several playable characters alongside Mario, Luigi, and others. The game centers on their visit to the Flower Kingdom, which is disrupted when Bowser steals the Wonder Flower and transforms it into a flying castle. Like other characters in the game, Peach can use a power-up to transform into an elephant form. I thought it was really cute. I liked the idea of this anthropomorphic version of Peach. I never actually played this game, but all the stuff I saw from it was super, super cute.
Oh, it seems fun. I haven't played it either, but that's because I don't have a Switch, so I don't know what Sabrina's excuse
It's
is.
called I'm Not Rich, Kaiser, okay? Okay? I save my pennies wisely, okay? Princess Peach showtime.
So cute in this game too, though. I just love this little image of her with this giant
Apple?
elephant
Yes.
fruit.
No, I saw
It's
it
so
and I was
cute.
like,
And it's
I had to
also
use it. It was so cute.
this is also the first time Daisy's playable in the mainline game. So that's
Yeah,
cool
outside
too.
of
I love Daisy.
yeah, because I was about to say, I don't think I know her. I didn't think about it because obviously I was trying to focus only on Peach. But I was like, I don't think up until I was looking and doing my little research that I didn't see Daisy playable until I reached this point. At least not in the main game, like the Mario Bros. Series.
Daisy fans be crazy though. Daisy fans
They
be
really
crazy.
are, and
I love them.
I will say, I always so my sister was definitely the more Princess Peach kind of gal, and so I would companion her as quote unquote Daisy, but I was never invested hardcore, and so I never wanted to call myself a fan because I was like, man, these real fans will come for me. They will take me out. I'll never see the light of day again. Never, never.
They'll take you out. It's all Daisy or nothing. So, you gotta know that if you're a
Yeah.
Daisy fan. She's cool though. I love her and Peach. Me and my sister, whenever we used to play Mario Party, we used to tag team. I would be Peach, she'd be Daisy. When we were playing against each other, because on Mario Party DS, you had the ability to play on the teams and then go on the different boards or whatever. And we would play against our cousins and we'd always win. We would always win. I wasn't letting nobody beat me. I obviously played the game the most. It was my sister's game, but I played it so much that I always beat them in every single mini game. There was not one mini game that I lost. So I'm just letting y'all know, if you want to beat me in Mario Party, well, you probably can do it on Switch now. Last time I played Mario Party was how old was I? It was 2022. So and I played that against somebody in college, and that was a while ago. Okay, so if somebody wants to fight me in not fight me, go against me in Mario Party, just know I'm gonna beat you.
You can
I'm gonna
beat
beat
me.
you as
Do whatever
Princess
you gotta
Peach.
do.
We just letting you know, Sabrina. Let's
No,
do
I
it.
so sidetrack, I guess, on the topic of Daisy. So a long time ago, I did a piece of art inspired by one of my favorite artists. Her name is Jacqueline Deleon, I think is how you pronounce her name. I apologize if I butchered that. But she did a punk Princess Peach as a commission for a tattoo for somebody, and she was so cool. It was almost like a biker Peach. It was amazing. And so the companion, her thing, I was so inspired. I was like, oh my gosh, I'll do Daisy to match, and they could be biker babes together. They could be these tough, rough and tumble kind of gals together. Now after doing all this research, I was like, I have to do it again. I have to redo these drawings because this era needs to be alive again. This obsession has to continue past this point of me spending hours and hours on this damn PowerPoint. Anyway, I guess back to my wonderful, amazing, gorgeous PowerPoint. We hit what is other Mario games, playable character escapades of Princess Peach. We see Princess Toadstool's Castle Run, a game based on Super Mario Bros. 2, which was released in 1990 on the NES Game Watch. Oh, Neil Sonic Game Watch. I'm sorry. I don't dislike it.
I think so. She's so
I know,
cute,
and this is where we see that original obvious characteristics of the original Princess Toadstool and how she differs from our current Peach. She had her ginger hair. She did have the pink dress, not fully the same as we know it now. And I feel like she still has some of the similar features, but I definitely feel like this Princess Toadstool is a little more angular. She looks a little older, you know? She's the tweeny Toadstool. She reminds me of
she's a bit less cartoony too. She's a little less exaggerated in a few areas. She's more human.
She's a little more polished. Don't ask me how much these watches retail for. I don't want to know. I just know that it's definitely from that era of gaming where you needed a light in order to see the screen. But it's still great. It's still great. It was cute. I was like, I would wear that watch. I don't get why it wasn't pink, but it gets the pass.
It has
Yeah,
some
but I
pink
feel like
on
the
it.
whole watch should
I guess it's
have
more
been
like her
pink.
hair.
Unless I guess it's meant to be like a gold accessories, like
They
she
probably
would wear, like a gold bracelet she might wear.
Yeah, and they probably were trying to, like, make it less
Oh, you're
gendered
right.
too, because
Yeah,
in 1990, it was like, you do pink as a girl's toy, so they were probably trying to get it to as many
that's
people
right,
as they
because that's probably
could,
why they made the packaging
back
green
then.
too. They were like, "It's
Mhm.
not a girl's toy, it's everybody's toy. It's just Princess Peach." Anyway, next we have, other Mario games, again, the continuation of Playable Peach. We see her in a lot of what are like Mario spin-offs, specifically the Mario sports games. She's like a constant reoccurring character. So while you had to list Shiro weapons, I will now list every single Mario sports game that my poor girl Princess Peach has had to endure. Golf, Mario Tennis, Mario Golf Advanced Tour, Mario Superstar Baseball, Super Mario Strikers, Mario Hoops 3-on-3, Mario Strikers Charged. Her losing animation involved her throwing a legit tantrum. Mario Strikers Battle League. She fans herself and calms herself down. Dang. 2022 to 2027. There was obviously, again, like Kaiser mentioned, the therapy. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Super Sluggers. Mario Golf World Tour. She actually has a course in that game called Peach's Playground, which is cute. Mario Tennis Acres, and has a special move that involves spinning and leaping and finishing with a heart. Her special move in tennis. We love it.
When I think about it, I think about, like, the golf games and stuff. Peach was always a magical girl, because there was a 3DS one that I played where when she did her special move, she would transform and she would go back into her dress and everything. She always knew. She always knew that she was this magical girl type of thing, and she's always the most stylish character
She
too.
really
That's why I
is.
love Peach so much. She's great.
In another game, even like they used to have like for the Wii, the Me store would allow you to get like if you got achievements in games, and I want to say that you could get like her tennis outfit. Like that was like a something like an award you would get in the game for playing so many hours or getting a certain like level or achievement. Is you would legit get her outfit and you'd dress up your little me and they would run laps in the Me Plaza dressed as her. I love that for us.
Yes.
Actually, side note, I used to take the people I didn't like in my life and I would make terrible me's of them. I would put them in the me parade and make them run. Like, like I would curse them to eternally like run the miserable run that where they'd be out of breath crying. I would create the people I hated and I would put them in the me parade. I would make them look real bad too.
That's horrible.
I know.
Did you give him like did you give him like a unibrow
No,
or
I would just
something?
it was like I was
wings
making caricatures of them. Like
moles?
so I would make them and then I would just be like, "You know what? Like she's real short, Suddenly she's now the shortest me that ever did me." And then I'd make them run. I'd be like, "Get in there. Walk." And then of course mom
That's
would
a
get mad. She'd be
shame.
like, "Why? What is wrong with you?" And I was like, "You don't like these people either, Renee?" And she'd be like,
Well, you know what? At least you're intentional with your insults, because you know what? I was obsessed with Story of Seasons, right? I loved playing Story of Seasons, Harvest Moon for those who don't know. And I had Story of Seasons on my 3DS. And so I was like, "Oh, you know what's gonna be fun? I love my family, so let me name the
"Oh
animals
my
after my
gosh.
family."
Wait, don't you
Yes.
farm them? Don't you in
Huh?
that game, isn't it a farm game? Don't you use them?
It's a farm game. No, but, like, there were pigs and stuff. No, they were, like, sheep and horses or whatever, so I didn't like, the worst you would do is, like, shave off their hair or whatever, and it grows back, right? You will milk the cow, and so I named the cow after my sister, and "Look, I named the cow after you." She was so upset. I was like,
And
"I didn't
and
mean it like that.
I'm the villain.
I thought
I'm
it
the
was
villain for
cute. I thought
making
it was a
me's
cute
run.
cow." I named my sister after cute.
I'm the villain.
I unintentionally I don't know what I was thinking. I just thought it was really cute. And I wanted to name, and since I thought the animals were so cute, I wanted to name them after my family. I named myself after, I forgot what I was. I don't know if I was a horse or a chick, but I was one of those. I'm like, I did it for everybody, including me. I thought it
No,
was
no.
fun. But
We're
apparently
on
it
the same
wasn't.
level.
So
You are not above me. We were on the same level of terrible.
I didn't say I was above you.
Anyway. Now we make it to Mario Kart, which obviously Peach is a reoccurring character, and starting with the first Super Mario Kart in 1992. A variation named Cat Peach was introduced as one of 3 playable characters in the first DLC pack for Mario Kart 8 in 2014. The game also debuted a variation named Pink Gold Peach. Mario Kart Deluxe features a playable Peach as well as Cat Peach, Baby Peach, Pink Gold Peach. And then, of course, at Mario Kart Tour, increased the number of playable options, including Cherub Baby Peach, Kimono Peach, Pink Gold Peach, Vacation Peach, and Wintertime Peach. All we can say is that. Oh, wait, sorry.
What's your favorite Mario Kart?
Ooh, that's hard. So I want to say I think it was Mario Kart 8. And the only reason I say that is because I think that was like the first one I ever really got invested in on the Wii. And I would in high school, I would legit get out of school and I would go to my best friend's house and we would.
No, that's Mario Kart 7. No, it's Mario Kart. Wait, Mario Kart 8? Isn't that the one that's out now? That's been out since 2014. That's the Wii U,
Sure?
and then the Switch. Yeah, because that's the deluxe one. The deluxe one is on the Switch, and then you even got your notes right here. The deluxe one's on Switch.
Yeah,
and
but
then
I'm
that's when
talking
they
about
add
the
all the
original
courses
one.
from all the packs.
Isn't that Mario Kart 8 that came out on the Wii?
Original one that came out on Wii U.
Oh, okay.
It came out on the Wii U. Mario Kart 6 came out on the Wii, if I
I
believe.
don't know. I didn't know. Okay, I just assumed it was Mario Kart 8 that came out in 2014. Was the Wii U out in 2014?
The Wii U was out in 2014.
So I'm gonna admit this. I completely missed the Wii U generation. I just never got a Wii U.
Most
So
people
I
did.
don't know. I just assumed
Most
that was the one I
people
had on
didn't.
my Wii. I liked the one that was on the original Wii
Mhm.
because I would get out of school and I'd be with my best friend and we'd be doing stuff and then eventually we would play and it would be like the friendship breaker. Like by the end of it, we'd say, "Oh, we're not playing Rainbow Road this time." And then we'd play Rainbow Road and we had this crown cuz like my best friend, like I called her Princess and so we got her a tiara when we went to Disney for our school trip. The one trip we went on and after that, every time we played, whoever won Rainbow Road got the crown that I bought her. And so it was basically like a fight off over this little tiara, this cheap little crown. And so that's just my fondest memories of, finishing up high school before going to college is us fighting over this little crown. And I always played Peach. I specifically liked the motorcycle Peach. The one that looked like the ninja. And then my best friend loved Toadette, and so she would always be Toadette, and she liked the little cruiser car, and we would fight. It was like a battle to the death, and it was great. It was great. What about you, Kaiser?
My favorite Mario Kart. I'm gonna be truthful with you. I'm gonna be honest. I only played one Mario Kart in my life. I didn't own other Nintendo systems. I only had a DS and a 3DS. So the only one I played was Mario Kart DS, and that's me and my sister played against each other a lot on there. And I want to play Mario Kart on Switch because a friend had it. They were like, "I played that game too much. I don't want to play it." I was like, "But I want to play the game." But I didn't grow up with a lot of game systems at all, really, besides the DS and the 3DS and the PlayStation 2. So I only have Mario Kart DS, and so that's the one I play. I always play as Princess Peach. She had a few carts. One looked like you had one that kind of looked like the one in this picture, but then there was another one which was like her main cart, I think, in the game, her first cart, because when you went through the tracks, you unlocked more carts. And it was like this car looking one. I mean, they're carts, but it looks more like a car than it looks like a cart. But other ones that I think are really cool and I haven't got to play, I would say Double Dash. I always hear good things about Double Dash, and I always want to play that game. I think, like, since we have like Smash Brothers and stuff now, since they did Everyone Is Here on Smash Brothers, they should just make a Super Nintendo kart to outdo the Mario Kart, because like you just did this whole thing for Mario Kart. You should do it Everyone Is Here for for Mario Kart, and have a whole bunch of Nintendo characters come on Mario Kart games, really cool. And have it also, or just do another Double Dash, because I always want to play that. I always want to play Double Dash.
Here's my hot take. I feel like everything, like all the newer like Mario Karts and stuff, I feel like that's so overwhelming. Like I feel like I've had a lot of anxiety. Like I already get nervous. Like in a racing games, like I get my little leg twitch and I'm like, okay, when are we going? When are we going? And I just feel like all the new ones, all the new stuff, I feel like I sound like a boomer, but I'm like, I'm just too old for that. Like, you know? But I feel like if I played with, like, my friends and stuff, I would enjoy it. But it's one of those things where it's like I'm hesitant to buy it because I feel like it's something I would enjoy more with other people than just playing on my own, you know? Like, maybe if we were still in college with everybody like you,
Yeah.
me, Ryden, Hannah, and, like, we were hanging out, like, once or more times a week, like, playing, I'd, like, invest in it, but I feel like now
Mhm,
just like me sitting at my house working, coming home, doing stuff. I don't know, I'd get it, but
mhm,
I know why people get it. It's, like, real exciting. It's a nice competition. It's
mhm.
like, you can play online.
It's a nice Yeah, it's a nice fun party game too. Like, see, but I never really had the experience. Me, I was just all of my by myself. I had my 2 sisters, but when I mean, like, playing games or whatever, I never really played games with people. I had my cousins, but they were, like, for the most part,
Mhm.
much younger than me or whatever, so, like, I was, like, I'm, like, 5 years older, than most of them. And so, like, not all of them, but most of them. Some are closer in age than others. But, for the most part, I just grew up playing games by myself. My sisters never wanted to play games with me. My parents never wanted to play games with me. And so when I got to college and I started playing games for the very few times I did, because I never did nothing but work in college, I, uh, I enjoyed myself, like, so much that I'm just like, "Man," it was hard to go back to playing games by myself. So I would love to just, like, play Mario Kart with, like, a whole bunch of people. Well, not a whole bunch of people, a small group of people, and just, like, do that Mario Party 2. 'Cause I never grew up with playing games around just like a uh, so I think
I
that would be
agree. I
fun.
feel like a lot of my game experience is definitely solo playing, but, like, I think that's one of the reasons why I fell in love
Mhm,
with Genshin. I loved being able to play with Hannah, like, go and do stuff. So there's definitely, like a hype factor, like a something about the environment of playing with other people makes it just different.
mhm.
But anyway, I guess back to the main course, back to what we were doing from our tangents. We love it. We always get on some kind of tangent.
Yep.
Okay, so now we have
Oh, yes.
other stuff, goodies and whatnots. This is more so right here because there's actually an original and a remake. We have what is Super Mario RPG: A Legend of the Seven Stars. The game begins with Princess Peach being kidnapped by Bowser, resulting in Mario setting off to rescue her. She is one of the party members and the final character to join the team. In gameplay, she can use
Yes.
defensive and healing moves or attack with a weapon such as a frying pan or a parasol. Although she was named Princess
Mhm.
Toadstool in the original game, she was renamed Princess Peach in the 2023 remake released on the Nintendo Switch.
These are some good games. If you get it right, and if you get, like, all the things right, Princess Peach can be the most powerful character in this game. This game is so fun, it's so good. I played it like an emulation of it when
Mhm.
I was younger. It's so fun. It's so fun. It's so cute. Princess Peach, whenever she's in the RPG, is like the best Princess Peach because she has so much personality and stuff. It is great. This and the Paper Mario games, the earlier ones. Not that I have anything against the newer ones. I never really played those, but the earlier ones, the first 3 Paper Mario games, Princess Peach was playable in all 3 of those. So like she has a lot. She be having her own story and personality and stuff. So the RPGs, they're great for Princess
Yeah.
Peach.
So
They're
it's
really
funny you bring that
fun.
up because I actually think,
I do too.
no, okay, we're not there yet. We're almost there. I do have Paper Mario in here. So next in the Princess
Mhm.
Peach journey, we talk about how she's actually a staple in the Mario Party series, since the first ever Mario Party, which was released on the Nintendo 64 in 1998. In the first game, she is one of the 6 playable characters that can be selected in a party of 1 of 4 players. One of the games is a 2D board map that is named after Princess Peach's birthday cake. Peach's birthday cake.
I
And
love
then
that one.
I kind of had this little cute
Mhm.
collage that I snagged off the internet of like the various peaches across the parties, which
Yeah. Which Mario Party was it that you could change outfits? Was it Mario Party 2? 'Cause, like, for each board, you could change outfits. I'm
yes.
guessing it's the second one 'cause she has a safari outfit in the
Yes.
second one. Oh, I wish they brought that back to Mario Party. That would be
It's,
so
like,
cool.
definitely, like, a cute little, like, effect, like, I enjoy like, I've seen other people play, I've never actually played Mario Party on my own or, like, in a setting, but I've seen other people, like, stream and play it, and I like the levels are cute,
Mhm.
it's so much fun, and I love how, like, you have such a variety in character choice. I don't get why they couldn't add outfits, like, in these later ones, like you said, like, I think it was the second one, like, it just, like, depending on where you went, like, your outfit ever so
Yeah.
slightly changed to fit the setting. I just think that's such a cute little characteristic. It's like a
Mhm.
little je ne sais quoi. It also, like,
Yes.
it doesn't
I
have to be
love
every
her.
map either. I think it would be interesting to be like, so Peach's birthday cake, I feel like if Peach specifically got an outfit for that world, I feel like I'd be fine with that. Like, if it was, like, related to them, like, their outfit changed, I think that would be, like, the cute little, like an aha, like,
Mhm.
"Oh, that's such a little nice tidbit." Kinda gives it a little more pizzazz.
Yeah, or unlockable accessories that you can just put on your characters too, like, just get hats and stuff, or, like, costume changes that you can just pick for yourself, and you can have those characters play whenever you want,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That'll be
No, I
fun.
agree, I
Yeah.
agree. Well, listen, Nintendo, you should hire us. We got some good ideas.
Take notes, Nintendo.
Yes,
Take
okay, here we
notes.
are, Paper Mario. Yes,
Ah!
okay, and hopefully, at this point, you've realized that I've drawn avatars, hopefully, if I have the energy, of us in a similar style to match this little podcast talk. Also, probably because, my cameras usually scuff anyway, so all's well make something cute that matches on brand for this little one episode or 2.
Yes.
So Peach appears in the Paper Mario series from Paper Mario video game starting in 2000. Um, in the first game, she is kidnapped by Bowser after inviting Mario and Luigi to her castle for a party, requiring Mario to retrieve star spirits in order to rescue her. Players can play as Peach in select sections of the game as she repeatedly attempts to escape the castle. In Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, Peach invites Mario to the town of Rogueport for a treasure hunt, but she is kidnapped and held in a fortress by the X-Nauts, leaving Mario to collect 7 crystal stars while trying to find her. Players control Mario, but at the end of each of the 8 chapters, the gameplay switches to Peach as she wanders around the fortress while attempting to escape. She is again kidnapped in Super Paper Mario, in which Mario must set off to recover 8 pure hearts in order to find her. During gameplay, Peach teams up with Mario as a playable character, where she can perform a floaty jump. Paper Mario Sticker Star. She and the Toads are enjoying a sticker festival in the Mushroom Kingdom until Bowser arrives to cause chaos, resulting in Mario collecting stickers to save the kingdom. In 2016, the follow up game, Paper Mario Color Splash, Mario, Peach, and Toad are invited to Prism Island, which is being drained of color. When Peach is kidnapped, Mario and a paint bucket companion named Huey must save the island and Peach. In Paper Mario Origami, Peach and the Toads are folded into origami versions of King Oily or Ollie. Ollie? Sorry, dyslexic, my bad. So Mario and friends must fight and restore them. This is like one of my favorite little depictions of Peach. I just feel like she's so cute. Also, I don't know,
Mhm.
I'm just a sucker for like
Yes.
2D games. Like, genuinely, I'm a
Me
Legend of
too.
Zelda like freaking nerd. And that was my OG game of choice. Ocarina of Time will forever sit in
Mhm.
my heart and in my Nintendo 64. Um, so I think that this just kind of reminds me a little of that like style of like.
I used to watch
Hmm?
I used to watch Paper Mario videos, when I was younger in, like, elementary school. Just I was obsessed with Super Paper Mario, and I was obsessed with watching, like, people play as Princess Peach. There was one thing you could do. Again, you could change your hair into a ponytail if you wanted to, if you went to the hairstyles and stuff. I love that. In Paper Mario, Super Paper Mario, you can basically play the whole game as Princess Peach once you unlock her. So, like, because she's there for, like, throughout the most of the game. And I think the biggest mistake out of Paper Mario series is like removing like the aspect of playing as other characters like
Mhm.
Princess Peach because like it's just not as cool. And they do all these gimmicks and stuff, and gimmicks are fine or whatever. But I think they need to like I see now that they're making a 1,000 Year Door. Hopefully they go back to kind of like that formula and evolve it instead of because it's a formula that could use some evolution and you can do some more things with it. Hopefully with the next Paper Mario game after the 1,000 Year Door remake that comes out, that has yet to come out at the time of this recording, we get another game and you can play as Princess Peach in that
I
instead
know.
too. Because she
I
was
just
great
feel
in those.
like the Princess Peach Showtime, I hope, is like the beginning of like a more like present Princess Peach in like not just like other
Mhm,
games, but like the main storyline as well. Like especially with
mhm.
we'll get there when we talk about the movie, but I want to see this like newer kind of Peach. I want to see I wanna see a new era of her not being a damsel. My girl I wanna see her,
Mhm.
like, fight Bowser. I wanna see him try and take her and
Yeah.
her to, like, grand slam
Yeah.
knock him out. Anyway,
Yeah.
this was also ironically one of my favorite games. I found it on accident. I, like, legit found it on the floor at school and stole it because obviously somebody dropped it, and I didn't ask nobody. I just took it home.
What?
It was on my
Oh my
little
gosh.
Nintendo
The
DS.
criminal.
Well, okay, it wasn't just this game, so this is, like, a long synopsis talking about her role in the Mario and Luigi series, and just, her being a present reoccurring character, starting with, Superstar Saga for Mario and Luigi, where, Bowser recruits Mario and Luigi to help him restore Peach's voice after it was sucked up into a device by a mysterious guest and replaced with an explosive alternative. Um, and what I'm talking about is actually Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. I found the DS cartridge randomly in, like, one of my classes one day as we were all leaving, and I was just like, "It's mine now." Like, I was like, "You're coming home with me." And sure enough, I fell in love with it. I was, like, a little science nerd, so, like, getting to go through the different parts of Bowser's body and trying to, like, save the Mushroom Kingdom that he has inhaled. I was like, "We're gonna do this, we're gonna make it," you know? And I just thought it was fun. I thought it was, like, an
Mhm.
interesting take, like, a new way of doing the maps, because I feel like they do a lot of, like, "Oh, go to these different worlds and do this thing, and, like, collect stars," and, well, basically, like, you collect whatever the token is. And I felt like the idea of that you're going to these different parts of the body and disrupting how they work and then, like, having to go back and fix them because obviously you've injured poor Bowser. I found it very interesting, take on the games.
Mhm.
Um, it would've been nicer if, maybe Peach played a bigger part in the game, but
Yeah.
anyway, anyway, we see throughout the Mario and Luigi series, her usual little revival of the damsel, era resurgence. But, like, there's hopes. I get it, it's Mario and Luigi, they're the main
Yeah.
stars. However, that is not the case in this next game, which is one of my favorite games, Super Princess Peach. It's a platform game with mechanics similar to Super Mario. It's set on Vibe Island. The game begins with Bowser using the
Really?
Vibe Scepter to
Oh god.
capture Mario and Luigi, resulting in Princess Peach embarking on a quest to rescue them with the help of her umbrella.
Oh lord.
I, like, loved this game.
I'm
Like, I don't know
sorry.
why. I loved the art style, I loved it. It was
Mhm.
hilarious, and little did anyone know that Vibe
Mhm.
was gonna become a serious meme, especially during the pandemic, getting Vibe checked. I think it's hilarious.
That's not why they use Vibe though, sis.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I didn't know that when they said vibe, they meant vibrator until somebody pointed it out one time.
Really?
Vibe Island, and yeah, it's kinda like a joke on a vibrator, like, it's the vibe scepter.
Okay, that kinda makes sense. I don't wanna think about it. Let's not talk about inappropriate stuff on this
Yeah,
podcast. This is a
I don't
family
wanna think about
friendly.
it. Um, but some people either love this game or they hate this game for a lot of reasons. A lot of times it's because of the vibe system where it comes to Peach's emotions, and she always feels very strong emotions, and she's a woman, so some people hate that. Some people like it. Some people think she's in control of her emotions. Some people think that she's lacking control of her emotions. What do you think about that, Sabrina? Like, do you think, because I feel like it's is a more complicated conversation than most people give it credit for. Because I don't know, because some people just hate it. They're like, she's a woman, and and you're basing the whole gameplay off her emotions. And other people like it too on the other side. And they're like, yeah, she's a woman and she's in control of her emotions. Like, how do you feel?
So at the time, the reason I really enjoy this game is just the memories I have connected to this game. I've never, like, thought beyond that
Mhm,
truly about, like, the concept of, like, what it meant. Um, but I can definitely understand how some people may not like this game. Genuinely,
mhm,
I don't like, I get being upset at, like, what it kind of represents. It's this idea that, like, a woman's power comes from the sense of, like, emotion, like the stereotype of, like, women are emotional. Like, which is real. Sorry, I almost cursed. Anyway, it's real messed up. Like, that should not be a stereotype for women.
mhm,
It should be a generalized, like, rule that, like, people should be allowed to have emotion and feel emotional, but in this game, I don't
Mhm.
feel like recalling it. Obviously, I haven't played it in a while because I don't have that cartridge anymore. I lost it, but,
Oh.
I don't ever think I ever felt like she didn't have control over her feelings. Like, if anything, I don't know about it being empowering, but I feel like, Peach, like, we talked about how, originally, like, she was seen as a very, like, a whiny character, like, how she would throw tantrums and stuff, and I feel like, to an extent, this game was, like, her taking like, ownership of, like, that, in a sense, behavior. It was her like, this game, just to, I guess, reiterate for those who don't know, she had, like, different emotions. There was joy, gloom, rage, and then calm. Um, so each had their own ability. Joy gave her powers to float in a cyclone. Gloom created a flood of tears. Rage engulfed her in flames, and then calm restored her health. And, I get how,
Mhm.
like, people would be upset. They'd be like, "Oh, are you saying all women can do is be, like, happy, sad, angry, and then, like, calm? Like, is that all women can do?" But, like, to an extent, I feel like turning, like, this stereotype on women into, like, a power, like, showing that, like, yeah, women are emotional, but, like, there's power in those feelings. Like, because I don't feel like
Mhm.
Nintendo, like, they're no offense, like, pardon my French, but they're not stupid enough to try and make a ploy on, like, just blatantly saying, "Oh, yes, women are emotional. Let's make a game that they can relate to,"
I mean
which that's not to say they wouldn't,
I mean,
but
this the same company that years and years ago when people asked, "Why can't you play as Princess Peach and Princess Zelda?" They were like, I forgot who said it, "But who would Mario and Link save?" or
yeah.
whatever, and I'm like,
I get
"Huh?"
it, but
But
I don't feel like this game was meant to take, like, a shot, like, that perspective. I think
Yeah.
it was, like, at least for me, I was like, "Man, this cool, powerful girl has all the same feelings I'm feeling, but, like, pardon my French, she's kicking ass, you know? Like,
Mhm.
she's barging through
Yeah.
enemies, she's doing all this stuff." So, like, I get in some people's perspective that it may be, like, looking down on women as being emotional, but I feel like for me as a kid, I was like it was a little, like it was cool. It was like a way of saying that these emotions were, like, okay to feel and there were benefits to these emotions. You know? Like, even sadness and
Mhm.
anger, like, they can be felt. So, I, like, respect everybody's
Mhm.
opinions, obviously. Some people may not agree with me, but I thought it was cool, and I liked how they were, like, represented by, like, hearts, and it was this idea of, like and it wasn't like she, like, was overwhelmed by these feelings and you had to tame them. It was like, you got to choose how she was gonna well, which is kinda sucky, like, you're controlling how she feels, but, like, the idea is that you as the player as Peach, like, you as Peach had control over your emotions,
Mhm.
you know? You chose which path you took, you chose how you were going to pursue the problem at hand, and so, I did not like, as her, like I consider this her first, like, true solo game outside of, like, obviously the Princess Toadstool run, Castle run. This is her first, like, completely on her own, she's saving the boys kind of game, and I enjoyed the art style, like, even to this day, like, this photo is, like, immaculate to me, like, I was so happy I found this photo because it was so much like the game, and I feel like I wish that there was more after this that I could say that was like, "Oh, Peach took her own, like, she's on her own game." Sadly, I don't at least not in my memory, do I recall another game that is just about her as the main character until Princess Peach Showtime. But,
Mhm.
I personally like this game. Obviously, it has its flaws,
Yeah.
but I personally, like, in my memories of playing this game and then, like, looking back on it now, like, maybe I'll try and find a cartridge if it's not super expensive and play it again, and now maybe I'll do, like, a little pop-up another time and be like, "Oh, yo, I played it again, this is what happened." But as of right now, I stand in my point of
Yeah.
I enjoyed this game. I like this game.
Yeah. I think that's a fair take. I think a lot of people, think that because it might have, like, some negative contrib
Connotations?
like, if you think that Princess Peach being all emotional is a bad thing, I think some people equate that to it being a
Yeah.
bad game, but I think 2 things can be true at once. If you don't like, that part of the character, that doesn't mean the game is a bad game
Mhm.
per se. I think some people equate those 2 things together, and that's not true. You know, it could still be a good game, and depending on what side you on, it can either be a bad or good connotation. But two things can be true at once. I think it's more nuanced than that. But that's just me. I just want to hear your take and see what you thought about it.
So, any more thoughts on Super Princess Peach?
I think it's a really cute game, and I love Perry the
So do
Parasol.
I.
That's what I have to say.
Amazing.
I
I might have
love
to make
Perry.
one.
I think I love.
I kind of want to make one.
You might make one. You should do that. I feel like we should see Perry more often than we do.
I agree.
I want her talking parasol.
I kind of want them to remake this game.
It's so unique.
Except maybe revamp it. This is the game they should have revamped. They should have remastered. Maybe giving.
They should remaster it. But when we get to Princess Peach Showtime, I'm gonna see how I feel about that. Compared to this, and to why I think that was Princess Peach Showtime is a better idea. For a Princess Peach spinoff game. But I do think that this will be a fun game to remaster or something.
Yes, I agree.
Remake,
so we continue on with her playable character escapades. When we see the 2 turn-based crossover games between Mario and Ubisoft's Rabbids franchise. We have Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and then Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. The player begins with 3 characters, one of which is Rabbid Peach, Rabbid version of Peach, who has the ability to heal allies and perform stylish dash, which can kill multiple enemies. After being unlocked at the end of World 2, Peach is also playable and carries a boom shot and tosses grenades at enemies. She also has the ability to perform a healing jump to heal allies. But yeah, I think they're really cute together. I never played this game, but I wasn't a big fan of Rabbids. Not that I disliked them, but it wasn't a franchise that I was like, oh yes, let's play this game. I think a lot of their what do they call that? Marketing was really cute of the 2 together and how they play. But it was a good little clash up. Not as good as her own personal game, but my girl is still present. I should be grateful that she's at least there. She's getting her shine, what we need. She could use more.
I like it. I like it. I like when Princess Peach is playable in anything. I'm glad she got her spin-off game. But I'm so glad that she's playable in games like this too, and they don't sideline her and everything. Oh my gosh, that'll be so horrible. But this, I've never been a fan of the Rabbids either, so I'm just gonna be honest. I remember they had a TV show on Nickelodeon.
I always thought
too.
it was stupid.
Never watched it. The Rabbids used to annoy me.
I always thought they were stupid.
Yeah, I thought they were stupid too. But I think marketing wise, they actually used the Rabbids well in here, because I think I never played a Rabbids game, so I don't know. So don't at me. But I think when they created Rabbids with distinct personalities for this game, they were more consumable to the audience. Because now you have a Rabbid Peach who is super funny, is super conceited and stuff. And you have the other rabbits. One might be shy, or Rabbid Mario, or Rabbid Luigi, and this, that, and other. They all have their different personalities, so they seem like their own characters. And it's not just a whole bunch of annoying rabbits just running around making weird minion noises. They remind me of the Minions. That's what they remind me of.
I feel like the Rabbids they did have personalities, but they weren't as distinct. And I felt like it was very much directed at a younger crowd probably than us at that time. That's why we were like, oh, it's stupid. But I don't know. It was never my cup of tea. But like I said, I was looking at the photos of this, and their marketing of Peach and Rabbid Peach were amazing, in my opinion.
Rabbid Peach is the standout of these games. She's literally the most popular in both of these games. She's a standout.
Peach is always the standout. I stand. Anyway, okay. So now we get into the Smash Bros. Collection, where Peach is obviously a playable character, and has been ever since Super Smash Bros. Melee. Upon her debut in Melee, her moveset included the ability to float in the air and throw turnips at opponents. In Super Smash Bros. Brawl, it introduced her final smash, Peach Blossom, which causes opponents to fall asleep and take damage. In Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, her fighting moves included using Toad as a shield, jumping upwards and using her parasol to float down, and her final smash, Peach Blossom again. Peach is one of several playable Mario characters that appears alongside characters from the Dragon Quest series in Itadaki Street DS, a Monopoly-style board game published by Square Enix in May 2016. A Super Mario Mashup Pack released as downloadable content for the Wii U edition of Minecraft featured Peach as one of 12 skins used as playable Nintendo characters and recreated Peach's castle as a location in the game. Peach had her debut in so many places. She was the one, the girl, that she was it. Okay, that is her. That is her. I'm a little sad that they didn't like. Oh,
One
sorry.
of the
I
Go
was
ahead,
gonna
no.
say my only like thing is I wish they would had made her Parasol Perry. And that's like my only regret.
Yes.
I feel like they have an
Very
opportunity to make consistencies in this universe, but they don't. I don't know if that's like
Mhm.
it's probably done purposely for some reason or another to like, keep the world open and like to have like certain things separate, like Super Princess Peach like separate from what is like the more streamlined universe of like focus being on Mario. Still, I feel like it would have been like as like a Peach fan, I feel like seeing Perry or like at least having her umbrella be like yellow and like in semblance of him, it would have been a little more like enjoyable, like as like a more like
Mm.
of a fan basis versus just like like a character
Yeah.
selection like a rando who's playing. They wouldn't have cared, but I would have cared.
Yeah. Smash Brothers has one of the best Peach designs ever. Just like the detail and everything, especially on her dress. Like that is
No, I
ridiculous.
agree.
It's literally one of
She
the
is
best.
beautiful. Like if I was
It's
gonna cosplay Peach, this is the reference right here. This girl. Except I would have Perry the Parasol.
Yes, and
I'm not gonna let him die on me.
and her don't. You gotta get sneak into Nintendo work there and then like all of a sudden be like the secret content, like the one who like just pumps up Pear to Parasol all the way till it gets to the top and they're like, we need Pear to Parasol
Yes.
in every Peach form of media ever. And I will be right there for it. Perry everywhere. Perry
Gas
everywhere.
him
That's
up.
so iconic. And Peach in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, or the story mode, is also very iconic. That's when I first heard about Smash Brothers, was when Brawl came out. And I watched somebody playing the game and I saw the story mode and I was in love. I love the moment where Peach they were like on a ship and then everybody was fighting and then there was like a whole bunch of fighting was going on in the background and Peach was just walking through all the explosions. That scene is iconic.
No, I agree. Like Super Smash Bros. Brawl was like the one my siblings and I all played together. Like we would play combat together, and then I was the
Mhm,
only one who played like the story mode, and I loved it. I
mhm,
genuinely loved it. It was so good. Like it could have been its own complete game. It was like they could have done a whole nother game, and I
mhm.
would have been satiated just the storyline.
Yeah. When the new games came out for Wii U and 3DS, I was hoping that they did like another story mode, but they didn't do it. I would love a story mode, especially for Ultimate. They kind of have a story mode actually. They do have a story mode in Ultimate. They do. It's just really different. You
It's
know what
not
I
the
mean? It's
same.
really different. It's more like, yeah, it's like a board game type of style type of thing. And so, but you also have to do that to like unlock the characters, don't you? You have to play through the whole thing to unlock the characters. For Ultimate.
Yeah, I'm good. That ain't
Um,
for me. I like my original. I'll be a
yeah,
snob in that regard. I always have been.
yeah.
Always will be.
But yeah, I love Princess Peach in the Smash games. She's so fun. She is so fun. She's my favorite character. Her. I'm obsessed with Bayonetta in there. I always want to go to an official Smash tournament, like a really big Smash tournament, and see what that's like.
Well, at the
I'm gonna go
anime
there one day.
convention I used to, go to every year before it closed down, it was MechaCon. They had a Smash tournament, that they would have, and it was
Mm.
basically like they had a game room and that people would compete, like, I think all the first day and the second day, and then at the peak on, like, Sunday, it was, like, one of the final events, they would have, like, the runners up, like, play live on stage for people.
Yeah, that's what I wanna see. I wanna see the ones on stage because there was some in college, but and there's some in Louisiana too. I don't know about, like, when it comes to finals or whatever, but usually they're just, like, all at separate, like, screens and just like this.
Mhm.
I thought that was so cool. I will be honest, I thought that was so cool seeing everybody like that. But I do also wanna see it on stage because I think that would be super awesome in front of, like, an audience or whatever, and everybody's
Mhm.
cheering and stuff. Oh my gosh, I used to pay attention to that type of stuff. Not as much as somebody who would, like, actually play it, but, for quite a few years, like, through, like, high
Mhm.
school and stuff, I was paying attention to stuff when it, like, came out again for, like, Wii U and stuff. I was paying attention to tournaments and things like that. Um, and I always thought that was so
No,
cool.
it's definitely interesting. I'll have to see because I know we still have Comic-Con, so I'll look into it, and if they have one at Comic-Con, we can see about maybe going. Like, we can go see if there's
I never been to a Comic-Con
um,
ever
the
either.
one in like, where we
Man.
live isn't that big. Like, it's big, but, like, in comparison to, like, San Diego and stuff like
Mhm.
that, it is relatively smaller. But that's probably a good thing
Well,
because
yeah.
it's since it's your first one, it's probably nicer to go to a small one where it's a little more tame and controlled versus being, like, crazy packed and, like, you can't even
Mhm.
walk.
I was an inside kid, so I never went anywhere, and now the older I'm getting, I'm like, "Man, I just don't do anything," and so now I'm just like, "Now I gotta go and
It's
see
okay,
something." I
Kaiser,
don't
I'll
do
drag you
nothing.
outside,
I
I'll
do
bring
not
you
do
outside.
nothing. Responsible little kid I was. I was that responsible kid that didn't do nothing. I just never got
I
in trouble
didn't
by anything.
either, like,
I
I
was
was
like, "That's
relatively an
bad."
inside kid, but, like, my best friend that I made in high school, she like, I've always liked costume making and stuff, but she convinced me to do cosplay,
Mhm,
and we made costumes, and we're like, "Well, we gotta go somewhere to wear these." And so we started going to, like, Comic-Con and
mhm.
MechaCon. It was
I never hung out with my friends outside of school
oh,
either. That
that's
was
messed
me.
up.
I was like, "Bye," and then I
Messed up,
mhm,
Kaiser. Shame
yeah.
for shame.
That is messed up. For shame. They probably I was like, no wonder they thought I didn't like them. I loved my friends. I love them very much, but I was like, bye. Now I'm like, man, I need
Hey, you're
friends.
lucky I'm persistent and
It's like,
annoying, 'cause you coulda just we coulda just ended college and you never talked to me again. Here we are now, 'cause I'm annoying.
mm, you're not
Oh,
annoying, you're
thanks,
funny.
Kaiser, thanks. Are you just saying that so I'll continue my PowerPoint? No, I'm kidding, continue my PowerPoint. Anyway, I
Okay.
worked really hard. Anyway, now we're getting on to other media, that Princess Peach was affiliated with. So, of course, we have the Princess Peach film. It was, from 1986, and it was a Japanese anime film, titled Super Mario Bros. The Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach. It was written by Hideo Takayashiki and directed by Masami Hata. It was based on the events of the first Super Mario Bros. Game, and the story involves Princess Peach escaping from the video game world into Mario's world before being captured and pulled back to the Mushroom Kingdom by King Koopa. Mario and Luigi are lured into the Mushroom Kingdom by a dog in order to save her. And of course, in the clip or picture, we see her with her princely boyfriend. So Mario was not always her man, which makes so much sense because why would she pick a
Yeah. He was
plumber
sad at
over
the
a
end.
cute prince? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, at the end of the movie, they ended up being separated because she had to marry the prince, and Mario was really
Oh,
sad.
good riddance. Get out of here, Musty Dusty. She should have stayed with the prince. Dang. And now we got all
Mhm.
these fan service things about her dating Bowser and dating King Boo. Just so much, so much.
Yeah. Yo, I think they did a remaster of this movie too that's on YouTube. A few years ago, they remastered the movie. A whole bunch of fans did, and it looks really good. So if you guys never seen it, I think
I'm
it's
gonna have
still
to
on
watch that.
YouTube. I'll search it up, and if it's still on there, I'll leave the link under the podcast uh section so you can like find it because it's a fun, cute little movie. It's a cute
Yeah.
movie.
I'll have to watch the remastered one. So next we have the cartoon series. In September 1989, Princess Peach appeared in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, a cartoon by DIC that only aired for one season. In this
Deek.
incarnation,
Mm-hmm.
she is referred to as Princess Toadstool and is a redhead. She is voiced by Jeannie Elias in the Super Mario Super Show, and Tracy Moore in the two follow-up series, The Adventure of Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World. It was kind of crazy because I was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, they really pulled back from Princess Toadstool instead of Princess Peach. It's kind of crazy, but I think it makes sense
Mm-hmm.
because I can't remember the exact date, but I think this coincides with that little watch that was like the Princess Peach Castle Run as well. So I was like, this kind of makes
She was Toadstool for a while, though. She was Toadstool for a long
yeah.
while. over here. I have stories for all this stuff. I just keep being like, every time you go through a slum, I'm just like, here's a story. When I was in elementary school, my teacher, it was second grade, she had tapes of the Super Mario show. So on days or times we didn't do anything after the school, or we had like little breaks, she would put on the Super Mario Brothers show. And I remember they used to have live action segments before each episode started. And so that's a really interesting thing about this show that I found interesting. I haven't seen it in years, but yeah, we used to watch that when I was in elementary school a lot.
Yeah. I did not ever see the show actually, ironically before this, but it looks like it could be cute. She's kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. So this animation's a little scary. And no offense, I don't know that I like this Toad as much as our current Toad, but I think that's just because I have like a certain attachment to like the newer rendition of Toad because of all of the what do they call that? The singing videos of Toad where it's just him screaming like Chandelier by Sia. Have you
Gee.
never heard it? Oh my gosh.
No.
Okay. I don't know. You don't insert a clip actually. I don't know if we can get copyright stricken or whatever. But I'll send it to you. It's literally I don't know if it's I think the original one was like somebody like voicing as if they were Toad and singing, but like obviously AI has progressed and it is the funniest thing ever hearing Toad scream Chandelier. It is the funniest thing of my life. I'll have us do that on the intermission for between this episode and the next one. I'll make you listen, but it was real funny. And I don't know, like this guy just looks a little too jolly. My little Toad looks a little when I like is a little special. He's a little twerp. That one's a little too happy, a little too knowing. Anyway,
Okay.
now we move on to the comic, which I honestly love this comic. It's not that I've ever really fully read it or anything, but it just reminds me so much of like obviously anime, but like early Sailor Moon like comics and stuff. And it's just like it's so funny. So throughout 1992, Peach, named Princess Toadstool, appeared in a comic titled Super Mario Adventures, which was serialized in Nintendo Power. The plot involved Bowser proposing marriage to her and threatening to turn her subjects to stone if she refuses. And after Mario is turned to stone, she and her troops pursue Bowser down a pipe, but she is eventually captured by Bowser. Rather than remaining idle, she demonstrates resourcefulness in various ways, including tricking her way out of her cell, escaping through a window using a yellow cape, and popping out of a pizza box holding a bomb in an effort to save Mario. And I just thought that was cool. Like she wasn't sitting around. She was like this kind of like draws back to that whole like everybody's like, "Oh, she always used to have these tantrums." But I was like this is her like if you were being robbed and had your people threatened and whatever too, you wouldn't just sit down. And if you did, you're a bad ruler.
Yeah, Peach in this comic is very fun. Also, I'll leave another link to a YouTube video where they dubbed the entire comic book with voice actors, and they made it into a movie. I saw that years ago, and it was really cute. Peach in this comic book is very outgoing. She's very fun. They based the Super Mario movie that came out last year in 2023 on this comic book. Is very much so not a one adaptation, but a lot of her personality comes from like this comic or whatever. This Peach is very funny. At one point she gets herself captured, but I think she doesn't. It's been a while since I've seen it or read it. She gets herself captured on purpose or whatever. She goes out after Bowser because he tries to take over her kingdom, and she's like, you're not doing that. And so she goes to take him out herself. It's very fun. It's very cool, and it's a very, very, very funny comic. I never knew that I like consumed so much Mario media, but here I am just being like,
hey, we find out a lot of things about ourselves. I didn't realize how much I like Princess Peach until I had this whole resurgence with Princess Peach Showtime, like genuinely, and I was like, dang, I'm making this PowerPoint. My butt hurts for sitting for hours. And I was like, I'm kind of enjoying this. Like, dang. Anyway, moving forward, you brought up the film, so of course here we are. The Super Mario Bros. Movie, 2023, voiced by Anya Taylor-Joy. It was. I haven't seen the movie, to be honest. Just because,
really?
So I like to watch movies
It's
with
fun.
people. I don't like sitting down to watch a movie alone. And I just hadn't had the time since it's come out to sit down and enjoy a movie. Honestly, I work a lot and do other stuff. So maybe we can watch that movie together on like Discord or something. But I have seen clips from this
Yeah, it's a
movie.
cute movie.
My favorite part of this whole movie isn't even a mainstream character. It's the little star in prison.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
voiced by the child.
so funny that star.
I loved it. I loved it. He was so depressing. He understood my soul.
Mhm. I mean, that star is literally only in like 2 scenes, but the scenes that
It
it's
really
in are
is.
really funny. That thing is so like
Well,
sad and depressing. And it's
the
like,
thing I thought was really
wow.
cool about this movie, though, is that the director Aaron Harvath said that Luigi became the victim Mario must save to substitute Peach's traditional role in the video games as a damsel, so
Mhm.
that she can remain like a strong monarch and protector of the Toads. Which I thought was like really cool because it was like instead of her being this like sad little princess, she kind of like she was a ruler. Like they wanted to stress that perspective. And
Mhm.
I have the quote here that like the voice actress Taylor Joy said that she was concerned before taking the role, but her portrayal of Peach as strong, capable leader was the way she was supposed to be. And of course, we all know the popular song "Peaches" by Jack Black.
Peaches, peaches,
Okay,
peaches, peaches,
so one of the
peaches.
best
Yeah.
things.
I think that role fits Luigi. I said I think the role of Luigi getting captured
I
fits
feel like it
him.
does too. Like
Whenever it's Peach not getting captured, it is Luigi
I
anyway.
just feel like so
Whenever he's not playable.
again, I'm not like the biggest Mario culture knowledge fan or anything, but I feel like especially in his own games, Luigi is like portrayed like his Haunted Mansion series. He's kind of a little scaredy cat. He's kind of a little more
Mhm.
like faint of heart than Mario. And I think the idea of him being like a little, like, maybe not as bright and like a little clumsier, like makes sense. So like the idea of him getting captured makes sense. And I know that when I watch this movie, I'm gonna like it. Cause I've heard like a lot of people also just talk about like the emotional like maturity more so present in this Peach than like say how she's portrayed in previous. And it's not necessarily her just being mature, but like portrayed a lot more complexly than say she has previously.
Well, I won't even say that. This movie does not really have a
It doesn't?
story. Uh, the characters, I feel like Peach is just being portrayed like how they always meant to portray her. And how they portray her in a lot of side stuff, and like she's like really that leader or whatever. But I feel like that's just the natural evolution of Peach. This movie really doesn't have anything going on besides a lot of movie references. I mean, a lot of video game references, and it's still fun. But it's really just like, look at that. That's in the Mario game. Look at that. That's in the Mario game. Look at that. And they have some
Well,
emotional
great,
beats or
Kaiser.
whatever,
Thanks
but the
for
movie's
ruining my
so
anticipation of that
short.
movie and Peach having actual presence in
No, but it's still a fun movie. It's still a good time. It's just like I don't want you to get into there thinking like it's some Pixar type of thing. It's not.
R.I.P.
It's really fun though. So you
I'm
should
so
still watch it.
disappointed.
You should still watch it. I'm sorry. It's still fun. Peach is one of the best
It's
characters in the
okay.
movie.
It's
She
okay.
she and Bowser are
It's
really
fine. It's fine.
huh?
I'll still watch it.
The fight that she has with Bowser and everything, it's good. It's good. I'm just saying this is not
Crazy.
like not a
Yeah.
masterpiece.
So anyway, that kind of wraps up this history of Princess Peach up until Princess Peach Showtime. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Woo! The best. It's actually I have my own. I don't say it's the best game, but it's one of my favorite games right now. I will admit this game. So as much as I would love to talk about it as part of this History of Princess Peach video, it's going to have to wait because we will be doing another episode specifically Princess Peach Showtime themed. So, thank you for
Yes.
coming, History Listeners. Right, fanatics, are you ready to find out how rich our favorite blonde, monster-bashing, cake-baking, floating dress-wearing princess is? And let's do it! According to Forbes in 2007, how much is Princess Peach's net worth? A. 9.7 million. B. 1.3 billion. C. 100 gazillion. Or D. 6.57 million. The answer is B. She received $1.3 billion from inheritance and commodities. Wow, if she was rich in 2007, how much more of Nintendo's assets did she rack up? I guess we have to go to the Mushroom Kingdom to find out. Mario, where are you? I need a ride.
So, yes. So, before we end this episode, do you want to hear my theory as to why I think Princess Peach always gets captured? I think Princess Peach gets captured on purpose. Some people say that she works for Bowser to get captured or whatever. No, this is my theory. Princess Peach is the ruler of the Mushroom Kingdom. She has to deal with all these people's problems. She has to protect her citizens. You see that she can do all this kick butt stuff. You see that she is really capable. You see it in the movies, the comics, and other games. Princess Peach can do just about anything. Playing sports, all that stuff. But what you don't see is her ever getting a break. Whenever she does go on vacation, like for herself and tries to go on vacation, you know what happens? She gets captured. So in order to actually get a true vacation that she can actually go on and rest, she has to rely on Bowser to come and pick her up, or Bowser Jr., because that's the only time she actually gets rest. So when we all thinking that Princess Peach is crying as she in that cage and she ain't got nothing to do, sis is sleeping because she needs a nap. She never gets a nap. She's too busy ruling her kingdom. And that's just the truth of it. Princess Peach is tired sometimes. And so whenever she gets captured, she uses that opportunity to go to sleep, get a break, read a good book, watch that show on TV that she never got a chance to watch because she's too busy like rolling over these toads and everybody. So she has to get the break that she's always desired. And that's my true 100% theory on why Princess Peach.
Honestly, I think it's plausible. Like, I think I agree with you. And the only reason I say that is, so you've seen Adventure Time, right? Have you seen Adventure Time?
Not really.
Well, there's a character, like a princess. Her name is Princess Bubblegum, and she's the ruler of the Candy Kingdom. She reminds me of Princess Peach because, so the people of the Candy Kingdom, as it's implied, they're all made of candy. And, like, they took on, like, the legitimate, like, kind of, like, realistic perspective that because they're made of candy, they're not, like, smart. They're candy, you know? So Princess Bubblegum is like the only smart, capable person in her entire kingdom. And so she kind of is like this overworked scientist woman leading a whole group of people. And so that's how I kind of imagine Peach. Because, like, no offense, they're a bunch of mushrooms, they're a bunch of toads. Like, are they really intelligent? You know what I'm saying? Like how smart can they be?
Yeah, I think they're intelligent, but like,
yeah, but like with how much she has
I
to
think they're
do,
smart.
I don't know, dog. I feel like
Yeah, I think Princess Peach has to do more work than your average monarch. She has to do more work. Like, she ain't worth 1.3 billion for no reason. Sis does all the work. She does everything in that kingdom. She needs a break. And then when she's not getting captured and she's like on some sort of vacation, what she got to do? Look at Princess Peach Showtime. She got to save everybody in that freaking castle.
it's a theater.
You know what I mean?
It's a theater.
Like,
It's
she
not a
theater. She gotta save everybody in there. Like, come on. She need a break.
Yeah.
Sis need a break. See, every time she go on vacation, something gotta go on. So she, like, in order to actually get some rest, I am going to let Bowser capture me. I'm gonna let this little baby Bowser Jr. capture me. I'm gonna let whomever take me into the stars, try to marry me, because at least I get a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Why do you think at the end of Super Mario Odyssey, besides them trying to force marriage upon her, Bowser really, like, she was nice to Mario at the end. They just felt like they deserved her hand in marriage, and she was like, no, like, you put me through all this, and then you expect me to marry? No, of course not. But she went on that journey because she needed some time to herself. She didn't have all time for that. She's like, give me a few months to just let me decompress and stuff and go across all these different worlds so I can have my
let
time.
her cook.
Princess Peach needs a time.
Let her cook. Justice for my girl.
Mm-hmm. So that's the theory, everybody. That's the theory. Do you agree with my theory? Just say yes or no. I know it's 100% correct.
You know, now that makes me want to say no, I don't agree. But I think I kind of agree. I think to an extent, yes. Yes, I don't think she's as like, we've seen her kick butt and take names. I don't think that she could just get captured by Bowser every time. You know, like, there's definitely some sus, like, something's behind all this. I agree.
People always like, how can she? Yeah, they always like, how can she kick all this butt and stuff? We've been saying that for a while now. You see in Smash Brothers and stuff. How can she kick butt and she's still getting captured by Bowser? That's literally your answer. She's doing it on purpose. She plans out she knows when Bowser comes, he comes on a set schedule. They don't talk about it, but he's captured her enough times for her to know when he's gonna come.
She's got a time.
And so like she set the time out for her vacation.
She's like, let me just make sure that all the paperwork's on the desk before like 2 p.m. on a Friday. Cause just something might happen on that day.
Yes. Do you think it's a mistake where she's like, the princess is in another castle? No. I'm just letting that be known. So before we finish the episode, Sabrina, do you have anything else you want to say about the history of Princess Peach or anything before we end the episode? Are you good?
I think I'm good. I'm very grateful that everybody could listen. I know it probably wasn't the greatest research, but I tried.
You did a great job.
Kaiser.
Everybody clap for Sabrina. Yay! She did a good job. And so next episode, guys, join us as we talk about Princess Peach Showtime. Probably not going to be as long as this. We're just going to discuss the game. So it might be an episode on the shorter side, but we're going to end it right here and say goodbye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for the newest episode of the So I'm a Fan of podcast.
Don't forget to support us by leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify so that we can reach out to as many people as we can.
And you can view our socials at IAFO Fans on X, formerly known as Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Reddit.
And our merch at iafofans.com. We have lots of exciting things in store for you, so come and listen to us next time. See ya, fellow fanatics.